Hi trombones, Mr. Y here obviously. Today to talk about the slurring on the trombone. Okay, slurring on the trombone is a little different than slurring on other instruments. On other instruments you basically just keep blowing with your air and change your fingers to change the notes. On a trombone you do something similar, but of course you've got the slide to deal with on trombone, which means if you don't do things correctly, instead of a slur you're going to get what's called a glissando. Glissando is a lot of fun to do, of course. You know, stuff like that. But you don't always want to do it too. Sorry, a big truck going by on the highway. So, for the trombone slur exercise, you should be looking at something that looks like this. If you don't have it, go download it or get one from me, a hard copy from me. You can see, basically there's two different kinds of slurs on the trombone. I guess three if we count lip slurs. Lip slurs are kind of something you do on every instrument, but there's two that are special to just the trombone. Lip slurs, of course, are where you change the note by just changing the speed of your air, so making your air go faster to slur up or making your air slower to go down. So for instance, if I stayed in third position but played or that would be a lip slur, okay? I don't like that they call them lip slurs because that sounds like you do it with your lips. You really don't do it with your lips. You do it with your airspeed, and I think they should call it that. But I guess airspeed slur is a little, hard to say and hard to get around the tongue. Anyway, though, there's basically two other kinds of slurs on the trombone. You can see at the top of this page here we have what's called natural slurs, or what I call natural slurs, and the second half of the page is what's called artificial slurs, what I call artificial slurs. There's probably real nomenclature for this too. This is what just I call them. Natural slurs are when the slide and the note are moving the opposite way. So for instance, you can see on the very first one that I have an example there, I've got an E flat in third position. Sorry, let me do this. E flat in third position, and then an F in fourth position, which means my slide is moving down. Okay, my slide is moving farther away from me, down, but my note is moving up. What you do when you have a slur like this is you just move the slide as fast as you possibly can and at the last possible moment. And if you make your air go in that direction too, in other words, if you make your air go a little faster for that higher note, the slur will happen all by itself. Check it out. There's not really any extra effort required there. And then the second example, you can see it's the same exact thing coming down. You've got a G to an E flat. So now your slide is coming up, but your note is going down. So again, it's still going to happen all by itself. Don't really need to put any extra effort into it. And this works no matter how far you're going on the trombone. That was just a one position move there. You can see 3 to 4. But the second half of the first line there, you've got E natural, second position, to third position. So, or I'm just moving my slide really, really fast and at the last possible moment, and the slur happens all by itself. Okay, not really that hard. Practice that first line, get it really good, and then come back. Okay, second line, we have a first position note, the F, up to the second position note, A. And then that's pretty easy, really. Still just a one position move, not that hard at all. Okay, now in the next example, we get into what's called alternate positions. You can see the G there is in fourth position. That's the way a G normally is. The second note in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th measure, okay, that's a high B flat. Now normally that would be in first position, of course, but if you play the fourth and then go to first position without doing the artificial slur technique that I'm going to show you in a minute, you will get what's called a glissando. You know, sometimes that's really cool to do, and there are times when you want to do that, but you don't want to have to do that all the time. You don't want to be limited by your technique. So what we're going to do is, instead of playing in fourth position right here, and then first for the B flat, we're going to do fourth position for the G, and then the alternate position for B flat, believe it or not, is fifth. So we're just going to go out one position to fifth, which makes this note go the opposite way as the slide here. The slide's going out, the slide's going down, and your note's going up. So make sure that B flat right there is really in tune with the regular first position B flat. Listen really carefully to get that in tune, but then, and then coming back down also the last measure. Okay, So sometimes alternate positions really do pay off for the trombone. Okay, go ahead and practice that for a minute. We'll go to the third line. Pause. Okay, so for the third line, we're starting in third position, E flat. You can see the second note is 4, so we got E flat to G to E flat, 3 to 4 to 3. Okay, then the next one is actually a lip slur. We have E flat to A flat, also in third, and then back to E flat. So you're staying in third position there. The third little phrase, E flat to B flat, fifth position alternate, and then E flat again. If we use the alternate position there, the fifth, that makes it a natural slur. So that's why we're doing it here, okay? There will be times when you want to use the alternate position. There will also be times when you don't want to use the alternate position. And that's going to depend on the context of the music, what the notes are that are around the note we're talking about, okay? But anyway, that third phrase there is 3, and then 5, and then 3, and then the last one is 3, and then 3, and then 3. Those are all in third position, E flat, and then C, and then E flat, okay? So the whole line all the way through, this is the third line. 1 and 2 and re. Great sound on that high C, sorry about that. Now, the fourth line under the natural slurs is just jingle bells with a random slur put in so that you can practice your natural slurs. So we have 4, 5, 3, and those are all natural slurs right there. That's one big natural slur. Just make sure that you're really tonguing all the other notes to make the slur really stand out. That kind of thing, okay? I'm going to cut the video here. This is the first part of trombone slur exercise. Tune in later for the second part.